Good morning. I apologise that I can't be with you there today in person. We're in the last week of the parliamentary sittings for 2022 and government business in the chamber requires me to remain in Canberra in order to vote. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I am recording this message for you, the Ngunnawal and the Ngambri peoples of the Canberra region. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to any Indigenous people at the event today. Like all members of the Albanese government, I reaffirm my commitment to the full implementation of the Uluru Statement from the Heart: voice, treaty and truth. This is an eminent audience, but I want to recognise in particular Professor Michael Wesley, Chair of this panel and Deputy Vice-Chancellor International here at the University of Melbourne. Ambassador Xiao Chen, the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Australia, who I understand will also provide a video address. Ms. Martine Letts, CEO of Asialink, thank you for inviting me to speak. Professor Mark Wang, Director of the Centre for Contemporary Chinese Studies. Welcome everybody. I know that I'm not the first person to quote Australian Prime Minister Gough Whitlam, who told audiences in Beijing in 1972 that, quote, "close cooperation between our two peoples is both natural and beneficial," because he was absolutely right. In the ensuing decades, we have seen many long-standing friendships established between the peoples of our two countries. And as the years have gone by, the personal and community links between China and Australia, whether they be in science, culture, academia, politics, business or sport, have enriched Australia as a country. They've made us a better and a stronger nation. I'm sure that this is also true for China. I know that many of you in this room have dedicated yourselves to enriching and strengthening these people-to-people links, to deepening mutual understanding. My message to you is that this is important work. Much has changed in both of our countries since our diplomatic relations began. The Australia of 1972 was less outward-looking. Asia was not very familiar to most Australians, and China even less so. But today, 1 in 10 Australians speaks an Asian language. Our main export markets are in Asia. Education is our second largest export item, but more importantly, we're enriched by the presence in Australia of international students from across the Indo-Pacific region. And Mandarin is the second most spoken language in Australian homes after English. The reality of living in Asia is more present to us than ever before. China has grown to become one of the world's largest economies and Australia's largest trading partner. That economic growth has delivered significant benefit to both countries. As a consequence of China's development, hundreds of millions of people have moved out of poverty, a unique and historic achievement. That achievement is testament to the hard work of millions of Chinese families. And it's a testament to the importance of international trade and investment ties. Both of our countries are better off for the partnerships and economic activity these have produced. Our countries and our business communities are filled with creative and talented people. Commercial ties between Australia and China run deep. Many have been forged over decades as business endeavours have navigated China's rapid reform and development. Australia's world-class exports, our diverse and welcoming society, and the depth of existing connections with China are important strengths. The China-Australia Free Trade Agreement continues to deliver benefits for both countries. And as an open trading nation, Australia has welcomed foreign investment, including from China, while also applying national interest tests. Because we know that foreign investment will continue to contribute to Australia's growth and Australian jobs. The people of both of our countries and our region have prospered thanks to the certainty, equity and stability that the rules-based trading system provides. That's why the government has been clear and principled on the need for China to remove restrictions that unfairly impede trade. We believe that the removal of impediments to Australian exports and the full resumption of our bilateral trade would greatly benefit both Australia and China. Yet there is much to our relationship beyond trade and investment. Prime Minister Whitlam himself became chair of the Australia-China Council after leaving office, a sign of the value that he placed on nurturing community and personal links. At the time, it would have been hard for him to imagine the runaway success of Australian-educated Shanghai businesswoman Jill Tang's Ladies Who Tech network across China, connecting women in STEM in Australia, China and beyond. Or the social media sensation that Brisbane hip-hop dancer Latrice Kabamba would become when she took China by storm, competing in the 2021 season of Street Dance of China. Or Chinese-born painter Zhou Xiaoping, who I understand is present with us here today, and who has been collaborating with Indigenous artists in Arnhem Land and the Kimberleys since 1988 to create exquisite works that reflect our interconnectedness. Or Brian Wallace's Red Gate Gallery in the Arts District of Beijing, or restaurateur Michel Garneau, or the way that translator Li Yao has brought Indigenous fiction works to Chinese audiences with care and sensitivity. He also did a wonderful job translating my book, The Golden Country, for Chinese readers. Thank you. These stories all feature in the Australia-China Stories book launched by the Foreign Minister in Sydney last month. And there are so many more like them. Mr. Whitlam could not, of course, have predicted these individual stories, but he was certainly correct that the exchange of ideas and creativity benefits us all. And in the decades since his time in office, the flow of students and visitors in both directions has fundamentally shaped our country's engagement with each other. At the same time, the past 50 years have had their challenges. There are significant differences to deal with, but we firmly believe that there is a benefit to dialogue. So since taking office, Foreign Minister Wong has met twice with China's State Councillor Wang Yi. Deputy Prime Minister Miles has twice met China's Defence Minister. And you will have all seen recently that Prime Minister Albanese met President Xi in the margins of the G20. These are important steps, but there are many more steps to go. But talking is certainly better than not talking. We aim for a relationship of mutual respect and mutual benefit, where we can manage our differences wisely. This will take time. Our approach will be calm and consistent. We are ready to cooperate where we can. We are prepared to disagree where we must, and we will continue to speak out as necessary on the issues that matter to Australians and take decisions in line with Australia's national interests, just as China does. As our Foreign Minister has made clear, at this juncture, Australia and China have an opportunity to pursue stabilisation, to move forward with a better understanding of how our two countries can interact to our mutual advantage. There are areas where we can and should work together. If China engages with Australia directly and constructively, we will respond in kind. The National Foundation for Australia-China Relations is one important way that we are working to achieve this. The Foundation's latest grants round, valued at up to $6.5 million, will help build understanding and showcase Australian excellence. And there are many global issues for which China is an important part of the solution. As just one example, we are very open to exploring further partnerships that work together towards achieving our climate change and decarbonisation goals. China is a leader in green technology, and Australia has the wind and solar resources to be a renewable energy superpower. And we all have an interest in securing the future environmental health of our planet. I know your next session this morning is on environment, water and collaboration. This is an important topic, and I look forward to hearing the results of your discussion. 2022 marks the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between our countries. It is the theme for today's event. It's a significant milestone, and it's worthy of celebration. And as much as today is an opportunity to reflect, it's also an opportunity to look to the future. The theme for this conference is building the future together. And as we head into the 51st year of diplomatic relations, that is exactly what we must now turn to. As Foreign Minister Wong has said, even when we have differences, by working together and with mutual respect, we can help ensure that our people, as well as those of our regions, in our countries in our region, enjoy the stability, peace and prosperity that we have been privileged to share over the past 50 years. I wish this conference every success as you discuss the wide range of potential collaboration available to all of us. Good luck and thank you.